All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Hello and welcome to this week's NASCAR Quick Hit here at SHIPIT Nation. I am Eric, also known as TheGame on Discord, and tonight we are going to be discussing the Bass Pro Shops night race taking place at the last great Coliseum, known as Bristol Motor Speedway. As always, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It really does go an incredibly long way in helping us with the YouTube algorithm and the march to 10,000 subscribers. So once again, please, if you haven't, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Before we break down the Bass Pro Shops night race taking place at Bristol Motor Speedway, let me mention us at SHIPIT Nation. That's right. Let me pull up my different screen here. Bam. SHIPIT Nation, we are in full swing. We have been in full swing at SHIPIT Nation, but NFL season, rather, is in full swing. Week 3 of NFL is upon us, but you already know that we are still involved in PGA swing season. MLB is still grinding. MMA, college football is happening. NBA and NHL will be here around the corner. And of course, while we're all here, NASCAR. And of course, you know, you get expert projections, slate plans, core reports, the Stone, education courses, everything you need for success in DFS here at SHIPIT Nation. So if you haven't already, check us out. It's absolutely worth your time. All right, let me go ahead and get back here to my blank stone. It's not a blank stone. It actually has the power rankings up, but we'll keep that up for this week. Let's see here. All right, this week, Green Flag is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and TV coverage is on the USA Network in America and TSN5 in Canada. And this is a Saturday night race. So, recording this on Friday night, race is Saturday night. So don't forget to get your contests and your lineups in on Saturday night. This week we are short track racing. We have 500 laps on deck, which equals out to 350 total Dominator points, and we are absolutely targeting those. I'm going to be running between 2 and 3 Dominators in every lineup. So this is a 2 and or 3 Dominator per lineup type weekend. There were no practice groups this weekend. All teams were on track at the same time. And the major talk going into the weekend was tire wear. If you remember back into the springtime at the very first Bristol race, there was extreme tire wear that no one expected. And that race was very well received by pretty much everybody. Drivers, fans, everybody loved that race. So Goodyear brought that same tire back with hopes of it wearing just as it did in the springtime and giving us a good race. However, practice didn't really show that. There was hardly any tire fall off at all, actually, during practice, which isn't a good thing. Which isn't a good thing. You want tire fall off because when there's tire fall off, there's comers and goers. Passing happens. It's more in the driver's hands, etc., etc. This could very well turn out to be a very standard, hard to pass short track next gen race. I hope it doesn't turn out to be that way, but It's trending that way right now. So let's all say a little prayer for high tire wear on Saturday night. Also, one thing that's not really DFS related, but is NASCAR related, is there was a trade today, which very rarely happens in NASCAR, especially mid-season. Um, Rick Ware Racing and Spire Motorsports have entered into an agreement for Rick Ware to send Justin Haley from the 51 Rick Ware Racing car to the number 7 Spire Motorsports car, which is currently occupied by Corey LaJoy. And Spire is sending Corey LaJoy to Rick Ware to take over Justin Haley's ride that he vacated. The news conference today, that all seemed like it came about within the last 36 to 48 hours. And you could sort of tell that Corey LaJoy didn't seem to be too into this. he didn't have a happy look on his face. Justin Haley, on the other hand, he was all about it. but Corey LaJoy, not so much. What was also interesting is that Spire has committed to Justin Haley for the future and has announced that Rodney Childers will be Justin Haley's crew chief next year. Where, on the other hand, Rick Ware made sure to let everyone know that they are not committed to Corey LaJoy yet for next season. And they want to see what he can do in their vehicles. That's all starting next week. It's Corey's last hurrah with Spire this week and Justin Haley's last hurrah with Rick Ware this weekend. I expect everything. I expect so much from Justin Haley starting next week at Spire. Corey LaJoy, I kind of think this is going to be his last season in Cup. I'd be very surprised if anyone takes a shot at him full time next season. And I think that's all I have as far before we go into drivers. Yes. All right. My favorite drivers of this slate. And I'm going to start off with just my 2 favorite Dominator plays for the weekend. And I'm going to assume they will probably be the majority of the industry's favorite Dominator plays for the weekend as well. And that would be Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell. What's to say about Larson that hasn't already been said this season? He has been lightning fast this weekend at Bristol. He had the fastest car in practice over the long run. He was first in the 25 and first in the 30 lap average. And his average finish over the past 3 races at Bristol, which is the 3 next gen races, is 4th. So, yeah, Kyle Larson is a fantastic play on Saturday night slate, as is Christopher Bell, who's starting 6th. Christopher Bell wasn't really impressive in practice, but he has killed it so far at Bristol in the next gen era, and he's proven that with his 6th place qualifying finish. His worst finish at Bristol since the next gen era has begun, which is 2022, is 10th. And he led for a total of 359 races, 359 laps in those 3 next gen races. Christopher Bell is fantastic here at Bristol. And this could be one of those nights where he stinks up the show. There's a couple of those Christopher Bell nights each season where he just stinks up the show. And Saturday night could be one of those nights. Next up for me is Ryan Blaney, who is starting 22nd. Young Ryan Blaney hasn't had the best success here at Bristol in the next gen era, with finishes of 16th, 22nd, and 30th. However, if you look at his practice speeds, he was so fast. He was second fastest in the 1 lap average, second in the 5, and then first in the 10, 15, 20, second in the 25. Ryan Blaney has speed in that Team Penske Ford. Did not qualify the best, however. Only qualified 22nd. I feel like Ryan Blaney won't get a lot of ownership tomorrow because of how bad he has been here at Bristol in the past. However, you can't ignore those practice speeds. those practice speeds are legit. He is in the playoffs. Good play, in my opinion. So Ryan Blaney starting 22nd, 9,600 on DraftKings. 9,400 on DraftKings, rather. And next up for me is actually not a driver I have wrote down, but a driver I want to speak about anyway. And that is the driver who is starting 7th in between Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. That is one Carson Hocevar. I have to assume, Corey LaJoy's in the top 10, but I have to assume that Hocevar and LaJoy will be the two least owned drivers starting in the top 10. But let's not act like Hocevar hasn't been fast all season and has surprised us all many times this season. And really, Spire Motorsports in a whole has really been trending upwards lately. I think they put all 3 of their cars in the top 10 last weekend, if I remember correctly. Hocevar rolled off the truck quick. 10th in the 1 lap average, 7th, 4th, 9th, 9th, and 14th in the other practice averages. And he's cheap. Only 6,700, and he's starting 7th. Normally, this would be the type of play I would run from the hills, or run for the hills from, rather. I'm not doing that this weekend. I truly think he can stay in the top 10, top 15 for the entire race. And if he does that at that price tag, that'll pay off. And he shouldn't get a lot of ownership either, I don't think. So young Carson Hocevar is absolutely on my radar for Saturday evening. And now for the play I do have wrote down here, which is my bargain bin play for the weekend. And that is Todd Gilliland. Huh? You're probably thinking to yourself, how? How could Todd Gilliland be a bargain bin play? He's like normally in the 6s or low 7s. For some reason, DraftKings priced him at $5,800 this weekend. Yeah, I don't know why he's so dirt cheap. Gilliland was very respectable in practice. If you look down here, Green, he was 12th in the 1, 11th in the 5, 12th in the 10, etc. His average finish in the next gen era has been 20th. Yeah, I don't know who at DraftKings decided we're gonna price him at $5,800. I feel like they did not do their research. I love Todd Gilliland on what's happening here? I love Todd Gilliland on Saturday night, especially at that price point. Made a mistake there, DraftKings, and I'm gonna take advantage. And I do believe that is all I have for drivers this week. Let me just scroll down here. Yes, that is all I have for the week. So once again, the drivers I mentioned was Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell were my 2 favorite Dominator plays. Then we had Ryan Blaney. I also spoke on Carson Hocevar. And finally, my bargain bin play of the weekend was Todd Gilliland. That's it for me. As always, if you have any questions concerning this slate, please feel free to tag me on Discord. And as always, let's ship it.